Great to be here. We got special breaking news because of the events over the weekend in Orlando. Never fear, your new cult leader is here. All the thinking having been done for you. So we've all been hearing all the news reports and whatnot, and how this one is spinning it this way, and you know, some people politicizing this thing, and it's further complicating because it's a gay issue. Is it a hate crime? What is it? But I tell you, I started thinking it's a real tough time to be a Muslim Islamic radical terrorist these days. You just want to be heard. I just want to be heard for the cause. I'm spread of it. You just want to do your part for the jihad, don't you? But no matter how many people you kill, you dumb animal bastards, no matter how many you kill, still Timothy McVeigh, the NRA, white guys who live in Oklahoma that want to shoot guns like redneck dumbasses, all these people get all the credit for you. It just must drive you nuts. All right, so yeah. It's a real heartbreaker. You know, you don't even get credit. Even your own president, Barry, won't admit and discuss what the problem exactly is. Even if you call 911 screaming, Allahu Akbar, I profess my love for ISIS. Nope. Still no fucking dice. And now you're dead. Bye-bye now, garbage. This second generation of immigrants is turning out to be a real issue. But let me just tell you a couple things here. I hate to read, but I'm going to do it. I have to put on my dumpy glasses. So here's what happened. Orlando, a gun-free zone as identified by the state law. As we know, it's illegal to murder someone, thank goodness. It's illegal to possess a firearm during the commission of any felony whatsoever. And of course, terrorism is illegal. Now, those are just 4 laws that are already on the books, okay? They're already on the books. Were they to just be enforced? Background checks, fine, schmackground checks. If you want a gun, just like if you want weed or you want heroin, somebody's going to be able to provide it to you. So forget it. You're not going to outlaw. And that goes for France, too, if you got the dough. Let's not kid ourselves. My point is that we can make laws and laws and laws and laws, and people just break the laws. You know, I mean, that's just what happens. More laws will change nothing. Listen to me carefully. More laws will change nothing as it relates to the criminals who are predisposed to break the law. This is not genius I'm raining down on you, but take a minute to think about it. It doesn't matter. Those of us who are abiding by the law, how's it going to affect anything? We're not the ones killing anybody. So unless you're going to confiscate all guns, which ain't going to happen. Why? Because we have this pesky Second Amendment, and boy, doesn't Barry hate it. Does he hate it? Whew. It's in there not for hunters. It's not even in there for guys to be able to defend themselves in gay nightclubs and shoot the shooter. Or for Beyonce's bodyguards. It's really not meant for any of that stuff. What it's really meant for is to defend against guys like Barry. Guys who would impose a soft tyranny upon us, which inevitably leads to full-blown tyranny and totalitarianism or a dictatorship or what have you. I guarantee you, Obama is so annoyed and jealous of Vladimir Putin, the way that he just speaks and it's done. He doesn't have to deal with pesky Congress or any of that stuff. He just says it and it's done. This guy hates it. That's what the Second Amendment is for. It's not for hunters. It's not for people to shoot up Walmarts. These are few and far between. Let's not kid ourselves. So, the truth is, every one of these shootings is always turned around to be some measure of gun control that needs to be done more. And you got a bunch of real dum-dums all over Facebook and everywhere that are really behind it. And I just feel like I don't even like guns, as I've said many times on this show. I could care less about them. But the truth of the matter is, it's the knuckleheads, it's the loons that you really got to control against. So we're to believe that by some act of God, as per Barry and his press conference the other day, where he again refused to utter the words radical Islamic terrorist. He talked about where this motivation might have come from and this and that, but no real, I'll come back to it. I know he said it today, but I'll come back to that. All right, so anyway, again, Barry would have us believe, as per his press conference, about how it's what we really just need to do is we need stricter gun laws. But we know what these guys want. All these left-wing guys, they all want ultimate confiscation. A friend of mine told me today that can never happen, first of all, because of the sheer number of guns that are owned in the United States. No one would give them up, except, again, these law-abiding dumbasses. Okay, I guess we'll hand ours in, honey. No, it said, honey, they sent the email. We have to hand them in. Who's handing them in? People ain't even paying their fucking income taxes. It's ridiculous. However, even if all that were possible, what we're really to believe, as per Barry and parroted by Hillary and all the dum-dums and blah, 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 and this looks good and all your memes on the fucking Facebook and all the nonsense. We're to believe that somehow the Islamic radicals would love us. They would not bother us. They would just leave us alone. They're peaceful people. They would leave us alone if only you and I, the law-abiding people, if we would just give up our guns, if we would just be able to control it legally, like we control the border, like we enforce those laws. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're doing great with all that's what we need is more laws on the books. More laws on the books that do nothing to inhibit the criminals, because criminals are criminals. So they're going to do criminal stuff. The law-abiding people will obey the law. Is this really that hard? I'm not even smart, particularly. So we're to believe that if we'll just give up our rights and guns, as we've already given up our right to walk through the airport, not a damn one of us ever had a shoe bomb. Not a damn one of us. We're made to believe that if we'll just surrender our love of guns, then it'll be harder for the bad guys to get them, and then we'll be okay. All right, so like I say, this is a special show. It's a very today thing. Barry finally uttered the words radical Islamic terror today for the first time ever. Hillary did it yesterday. She said the words, and I'm going to clarify that in just a moment. 7.5 years, they haven't said those words. They haven't said those words, and wouldn't say it even when pressed by the left-wing complicit media, who are their best buddies. I mean, it pains George Stephanopoulos to have to ask Hillary a real question. She gave me my start. I mean, how mean can I be? But the viewers ask, why don't you ask harder? Oh. They both said it after 7.5 years. But they didn't really say it. They didn't say, well, it's a shame about the Islamic radical terrorist who shot up that gay club the other night. They didn't say that. What they did was, Hillary said, well, I don't see what the big deal about is saying it. I mean, I'll say radical Islamic terror. I'll say it. Here, I just said it again. There, I said it. But she didn't pin the tail on the donkey, that fat fucking donkey. Obama did the same sort of thing. I don't see what the big deal about saying the words. I mean, it's so what? It's radical Islamic terror. I would never want anyone to think that we're at war with an entire religion. All this equivocation, all the time equivocation, rather than just saying what it is. He didn't say it either. He's talking about saying it, you know. He's saying I'm saying it. It's like you saying to somebody, Scott, why don't you say faggot? I'm not going to say faggot. I don't. That's not a nice thing. And why would I say faggot? Meanwhile, I just said it 3 times. You see, with no malice, no intent, no assignment, no pin in the tail on the donkey. In fact, Obama said, "Why do I need to pin the tail on the donkey?" That's basically what he said. Oh, I can say it, but why? How does that help? How does that help in any which way? Guess what? Your leader is here to tell you the answer why it helps to say the words, and here it is. I'm going to take a little sip first. So refreshing. The reason is very simple, and I'm going to analogize it after as though I have to, but I want to. The reason is simple. You have to identify your enemy by name. Okay, we didn't say, well, those Germans with guns are seemingly a problem. By that Adolf Tomlinson guy, what was it? Oh, Himmler? What was it? Hitler. Adolf. Yes, those Germans with guns are a real drag, and the kid with the stash. Nah, we called them Nazis because that's what the fuck they were. That's what they were. And that's what these knuckle faces are. So you have to identify your enemy by name to begin to confront that enemy. Now the boring Scotty analogies. How about when you go to the doctors? What's wrong with you, kid? Well, I don't know, my neck's sort of bothering. And this guy's working with your bunghole. But doc, I think it's maybe, I'm not sure. I've got to check everywhere else that, slightly repulsive, of course, as is this entire administration. What about when you go for your car? You take your car into the guy. Well, I don't know. It won't start. What do you mean it won't start? It goes tick, tick, tick. I think it might be a starter. But immediately the mechanic is taking out the oil pan. It's like a fucking ostrich with a head in the sand. Let's be honest. If you want to solve the problem, name the problem with no further agenda like, yeah, see, I knew it was them. I knew it was those Muslims. Whatever it is, it is. Whatever it is, and let's just be honest about it. And guess why they said those words? 7.5 years, neither one of these garbages says it. Islamic, radical Islamic, what the fuck is it? Whatever, terrorist, whatever it is. There's one reason why they said it. And the kid's named Donald Trump. Because he just says it. And he's portrayed as this rough, coarse, peasant who stumbled into inheritances and billions of dollars. And he's arrogant and he's boisterous and he's boastful. And he is all of those things. But boy, oh boy, kid speaks his mind. You know what I mean? And that's why these two, Barry and Hillary, said the word radical Islam in the same sentence. So, wow. You know, I was thinking that because of this political correctness, and, you should turn this guy in if you see this, and turn this guy in, and it starts to sound very sort of, Gestapo-ish and whatnot. Nah, but let's use common sense about it. You know what I mean? Like, but I think that it messes up the entire narrative of the Orlando shooting at the gay club, and now we find out this guy was fucking gay. Probably, that wasn't a terrible looking guy. I mean, he was just a weirdo though. Even some guys on Grindr were fucking blocking this guy. So we come out with that, and his dad, the Taliban supporter. Maybe we'll come back to that. Maybe we won't. But this comes back to my second generation. It's the offspring of the original immigrants. He shouldn't have been in the country. His dad shouldn't have gotten in the country if he's a goddamn Taliban supporter. But I digress. I digress. It's a real problem for the narrative here. Now you got a gay Muslim? What? Shooting up a gay club? What? Whoa. We needed, from the media standpoint, we needed a fucking We needed a frustrated white kid from central Nebraska who just couldn't find his place in his own hometown. They were bullying him. They were doing everything. And I really feel for those types of people. I know some of those people. I've bullied them. Not really. I've taken them in. But the fact is no matter what his situation is, it just really would have been much better if it was a Timothy McVeigh. Oh, weren't they praying for that? Rather than, even before they knew he was gay, rather than a Muslim, not again. Oh, yes, Mr. President, we have to confirm. Yes, he screamed it into he screamed Allahu Akbar into the 911 call. He wanted us to know who did this, you dumb fuck idiots. He wanted us to know. You're going to suppress that 911 tape. Yes, sir, of course, because we don't want to, You see, it's a real problem. It would have been easier if it was the ideal thing is a white guy kills a bunch. It was Latino night. So if a white guy went in and killed a bunch of Latino guys, that would have been decent. Ultimately, though, just regular, nice gay guys, regular old ones, not Latinos, not anything. Whitey comes in and does it. Then, whew, perfect. See, this helps for the gun control and all. But again, like so many times before, it's not. It's someone with a whack-ass ideology. Do you know? I've already said how frustrating it must have been for the kid. He's married. I'm throwing up on myself. He's married twice. Once for 3 months. How he even got that girl, I have no idea. It's fucking loony. Putz. Nobody wanted to hang with this guy. He was frustrated. He didn't know how to deal with this. Well, I've got these radical views, like I want to embrace Sharia law, but if I do, I'm the first one they fucking kill. Why? Because there's 10 countries at least, maybe 11, that right this minute, 1996, what year is this, producer boy? 2016. I'm a little behind. That the penalty for homosexuality? Murder. Sometimes it's nice. The lucky ones might get chucked in prison or thrown in an acid bath because that's relatively fast. But routinely, their heads are chopped off, they're drowned in cages, and they're thrown off buildings or some measure thereof. And we've got time to sit around wondering who takes a shit in which bathroom. But the fact of the matter is, what a problematic situation. And here's my thing. Hillary Clinton, anybody else, you guys are going to have to choose between gay rights and Islam. Why you're all bending over backwards for this religion of conquest who has fought with everybody for its entire 1,400 years of existence. Say what you want, Obama, with the equivocation, the Crusades and the Christians were this, and let's not get on our high horse. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. The Crusades were to beat back these fucking Muslims that had to conquer the world. And it has never stopped. They're at war with everyone, even themselves when they're not radical enough. So imagine the conundrum this boy's in. This confused garbage. Another load that should have been swallowed. I want to fight. I want to honor my dad. He probably didn't even care about any of this shit. He wanted his dad's approval. You're hearing it here first. The supportive dad of the Taliban. How he got in? Fine, he got in. Whatever. This guy wants to please his dad, like I wanted to be a good golfer, because my dad was a good golfer. That's all. Approval. But he had some fey ways, didn't he? Apparently. So says the ex-wife. Why don't you want to fuck me? I just don't. I don't know. We know all about it. Feel horrible about it. So he wants to please his dad. I'll show you how manly I am. I'll get married not once, but twice. And then I'll frequent a gay bar that I get kicked out of every other week. And I'll join a couple of dating sites like Grindr. Blocked by numerous guys because he was a fucking creep. Interviewed twice by the FBI, but there was no crime. There was no visceral, visual, even a particular suspicion of a crime, even though time and time again people said, I don't know, this dude says some whack shit. Listen, I say some whack shit. I don't want to get chucked in jail every 5 minutes or interviewed by the FBI. But the fact of the matter is, when you're constantly talking about killing people, and when is it time to fess up and say, yeah, listen, my roommate is, at first I thought it was funny, but now it's like I'm smelling gunpowder in the house and stuff. Like, I think he's making some bombs, or whatever. When is it your right, or your what's the word? Let's go. Your fucking duty to go and report this person? You don't want to be a little tattletale bitch, the boy who cried wolf. But seriously, that's what Trump's talking about when he's talking about, the Muslims you have to tell these people, if you hear that shit, and many did. They've already come and said. Same thing with San Bernardino. People walking in their house saying, oh my God, what's this, Barney, whatever your name is? No, I just take them to the library with me. Nah, they knew they were up to something, but nobody wants to be a racist. Nobody wants to be an Islamophobe. Nobody wants to be a homophobe. Nobody wants to be a this and that and this and that and all these overused motherfucking terms, racist being the worst of all of them. But guess what? Muslim's not a race, dickheads. So, kids, seriously, this guy, this is what you want to vote for, especially you never Trump people. What a more disingenuous woman has there ever been in all of time? Of those 10 nations that I told you that still execute homosexuals, Hillary and the Clinton Foundation has taken money from most or all of them, but particularly Saudi Arabia, big piles, and yet goes out and speaks out against this homegrown terror and all this stuff. Guys, what's the difference? We've already talked about, this fox that crawled up on Trump's head and died. The fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people who wouldn't sit on the sidelines if they weren't so scared of being labeled some racist, Islamophobe, homophobe, misogynist, all these things. But I want to tell you something. We're coming for you. Who are we coming for? We're coming for you, establishment, and it's not me. It's Trump that's fired all these people up. That's who we're coming for. We're coming for the entrenched people on our own side. I'm not even a Republican, but if I even was on that side, they're a useless, worthless bunch of garbage. We're coming for you, Paul Ryan, who promised you would do this and this and this, and you voted with Obama again and again and again, just to appease everybody and have the nerve to rag on your own presumptive nominee, after endorsing him, because he said something that was true about a judge that was involved in a case that Trump is involved in. Does Trump shoot his mouth off and should shut the fuck up sometimes? 100%. But when he doesn't shut up, does he say the truth? Sometimes he blows some facts, but the fact is, you come to find out, this judge, this Mexican judge, is very active in La Raza, which means the race for you dum-dums. They don't get fired up about Chinese people's rights or even Puerto Rican people's rights. One race, Mexican. That's what's up. That's the superior race in their mind. That's who Texas belongs to. And this judge is going to judge him? Come on. That's who Trump's scaring the shit out of, these establishment. Mitch McConnell. All these people, they're scared to death. They're going to lose their wonderful, cushy consulting jobs and their lobbyist jobs out on K Street. Tell you what, you guys, I don't even blame the Democrats. They're retards. Liberalism, however well-founded by some, well-meaning, if you will, it's a mental disorder. There's no cure for this. Education won't do it. They don't want to hear facts. They're brainwashed. How else could you vote for Hillary? Honestly, really, seriously. You'd vote for Satan himself if it had a D in front of it. That's who we're coming for. You guys, you rhinos, you put us here. The people gave you guys the House and the Senate, and you did nothing with it. You squandered it. You didn't use the power of the purse, which is what you had. You could have shut down anything Obama wanted to do, because if he can't fund it, he can't pay for it, he can't do it. And we get lip service. Well, Obamacare is, we're gonna repeal that, and we've got the votes necessary. You got squat. You got nothing. You've done nothing to even slow this prick down, Barry. That's the truth of the matter. So we're coming for you. You got us into this mess. All of you guys, you got us into this mess. We're blaming you. All of you establishment types. We're blaming you. We're not even blaming the Democrats. It's you. You could have changed it. Everybody's coming for you. And you don't fucking get it. You don't get why these people want to hear what Trump has to say. You don't understand. Well, this guy's, he's racist. You're a fucking idiot. He's saying the stuff that everybody's thinking. All the majority out there, the silent majority. Not holding the flags and the signs and beating up people at the Bernie rallies. Some of those people could take a beating, let's be honest. You guys blew it. No American person, I don't care if they're Democrat, a communist, a fucking whatever they are. Nobody can expect you people to fix and have the solutions to the problems that you created. We're coming for you. And once again, the time goes by so fast. Where does it go? I cherish every moment. But you're seeing a president that has, everybody's trying to make him out. He's been a wonderful leader and never crossed 3% GDP growth in all of his years. First president ever, I believe. I don't know. Don't be sham, people. Don't be sheep. Remember, you can always reach out to me. RealWTF@gmail. Real, like the real thing. WTF@gmail. And I just need you to remember one little tiny thing, that I'm your code leader and I love you.